Hello all, welcome on into our tarot spread for the week ahead. Today is Monday, April 20th, and how's your April going? I guess technically right now we're three quarters of the way done with April. And I hope your April has been progressing as nicely as it could or can. Today is kind of a rainy day here where I am, kind of a dark, rainy day. And I'm felt like using a deck with a little bit of a softer energy today. So I am using the Gentle Tarot by Mari in the Sky. And the subtitle here is Heal Yourself, Heal the Earth. I love it says the Gentle Tarot is an indigenous-made, hand-drawn tarot filled with the imagery influenced by life in remote Alaska. Colorful art inspires connection with our natural environment, providing an open door for self-healing. Gentle Tarot reminds us that when we truly believe in ourselves, we become powerful, potent beings. And that is definitely good energy for me right now. I hope it is good energy for you. Or at least energy that resonates, makes sense, and feels healing. I've been thinking a lot about personal responsibility in life, and I think the more we can focus on controlling what we can control and taking responsibility for what we can be responsible for, the better our lives are. You know, if we spend all of our lives trying to be comfortable and avoid taking responsibility, and I don't mean taking responsibility necessarily like you did something wrong or you need to apologize for something. I just mean taking responsibility for going about your day, not waiting for life to happen to you, or not consistently blaming other people for situations that you might have been able to take a part in. So in other words, take part in your life, man. Take part in your life. Get out there. Enjoy your life. Make choices that feel good. Make choices that empower. Do one thing a day that feels fun. Do one thing a day that feels good for you on a soul level, a happiness level. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It literally could be, if you have a deck of cards at home, pull a tarot card for yourself. That could be the thing. Writing down some stuff you're grateful for, a little bit of a gratitude list, that could be the thing. It doesn't have to cost money. It doesn't have to be big. But if you take even just a small moment for yourself every day, you're going to feel a lot better about things, I promise. And, I wanted to thank, we had a few new people subscribed this week, so thank you. If you're a new subscriber, thank you. If you're a person who's subscribed for half the time I've been doing this, thank you. If you've been here since day one, my mom, thank you. Actually, I think my friend Stacy's been here since day one too, so thank you to you both. And anyone else who's been here since day one. If you think this might help someone else, please feel free to share, subscribe to the video if you haven't already, if you like what I'm doing. And let's get going. We already have our first card that jumped out, and I'm going to cut our deck and start going with some cards here. All right. I kind of like what we've got. I kind of like what we got here. Let's see. Our card of the week is, in this deck, it's the Three of Thunder. In a traditional deck, it would be the Three of Swords. Swords are a lot about being in our heads. Their thought, they can be our wit, they can be wisdom. They're our focus and determination. It's the suit of air, so we're not dealing with things that are tangible here. And the Three of Swords, or Three of Thunder, is about experiencing maybe some emotional wounds that we have, maybe some emotional wounds we tend to ruminate over, ponder on, that really kind of, as the kids say, take up free rent or take up free space in our head. And it really is a card of honoring that, seeing that, knowing that these wounds do not pass easily, but also with the guidance of the more we allow them to rise to the surface, the more we do the intellectual work of thinking, what's really going on here? Why am I still holding on to this? Why does this still bother me? And not in a way that just erases it or wipes it away or puts it under the rug, but in a way that really helps us to understand how this might still be showing up and being present in our life. So it's a good week to notice what comes up, to notice what we're still sitting with, and to ask what purpose it's still serving, and letting it go, doing the work to let it go, however that is for you. It could be anything from journaling about it to speaking with a therapist, and anything in between. All of those are valid. So that's our theme of the week, is just noticing what's coming up. What are we still holding on to that could really help us to heal if we let it go? For Monday, we have this lovely, I'm going to say chunky sea lion. I say chunky is a term of endearment. It's actually one of my dog's nicknames. So we have this, or is he a walrus? No, I think he's a sea lion. We have this lovely chunky sea lion for the Emperor for Monday, today. Let's examine our structure in our life. Let's examine our rules. Let's examine what we've built. Let's examine the structures and the rules we exist in that might not be ours, that we've built. How are they serving us? How are they keeping us stuck? How are they allowing us to live our lives? Look at all of that. The Emperor also encourages us to use our voice, to be seen in our strength, and to use our voice in leadership of others. Maybe we're a person at work who's in charge of forming some new rules, forming some new policies, forming some new structure, and we can be a leader of that. Maybe we are a treasurer of a club or organization, and we've got to come up with some new structure for the bookkeeping or something. Like, this is all sort of Emperor rule setting, structural leadership energy. And know also that when we process and heal, we are going to be better in a position to use our voice confidently and with strength to be a leader. So that ties back into our card of the week here. That's our Emperor for Monday. For Tuesday, we have the Two of Wands. And this is a card of knowing that what you're looking for is yours to achieve. The world is in your hands, really. This is a card of encouraging following those passions, following that journey, following those sparks of enthusiasm, but also taking the time to set the plan. It's a card of dreaming, but also doing, or at least laying the groundwork, perhaps channeling this, and again, Emperor energy to lay the structures, the rules, the groundwork. But we're on this journey. I like that this person is without clothes or naked in this card, because that does imply a certain newness, innocence, vulnerability of really following your heart and following your dreams and following your passion, but also taking the steps to get there. And this is a mountain, this is a hill. So it's not necessarily going to be an easy path to get there, but if we do the planning, the preparation, and really follow that spark and that energy, we'll get there. It's Two of Wands for Tuesday. For Wednesday, we have Four of Cups. And Four of Cups might be a day, Wednesday might be a day where the Three of Swords or Three of Thunder is sort of rearing up. It might be a day where we're feeling maybe a little sad, a little stuck, a little meh, as the kids say. A little, not sure what's next, not sure where we should go. Not sure we can even see this path we thought we had, or this dream. Maybe we're not quite sure how we're going to get there. And there are some options. There are some options for us. There's a variety of options here. There's some sun, there's what looks like some rain. There's different options that can bring us different things and different paths. But we have to be willing to come out of this to see it. We have to be willing to see the world beyond this narrow view that maybe we've set up because of the feelings. And again, once we start to release this is going to come into shape. We're going to be able to see those options and come out of this. Also, the structure here, I think, helps. The structure helps for both of these cards, both in helping to get out of this and to see our next options, and in planning, the structured planning of our next steps. That is Wednesday, Four of Cups. And we have, for Thursday, we have the Lovers. Um, and the Lovers really, for me, is usually about love in all forms. It can mean romantic love, it can mean a connection, but it doesn't have to. And I think first and foremost for me with the Lovers, it's about loving yourself. It's about these relationships that exist for us on all levels, even if it's not always entirely obvious or apparent to others. It's about looking in ourselves, looking at all of us, and choosing to love ourselves anyway, all sides of ourselves. This card, in conjunction with Three of Thunder, implies that maybe you do have some internal wounds about yourself, about maybe the patterns of behavior, about how you feel about yourself. Maybe we have some self-esteem and some self-love issues that need to be healed and released. And then the Lovers witnesses you in that. It's holding you gently in that, soft as a little butterfly here, gentle as a butterfly, but it is holding you in that. It's witnessing you in that. It is providing the structure for you to heal this and for you to shine with love. Always a reminder too with the Lovers that if you have to choose, you can choose to be kind. I am sorry that horn honked like that. But if you can choose anything, choose to be kind. For Friday, we have the Death card. I love that we have a little hermit crab here. I used to have hermit crabs as a kid. They're fascinating little creatures. And I love that death shows us exactly what it is. That in order to get something that's better for us right now, or better for us in this next journey, better for us in this moment, we've got to leave behind something. And maybe this shell isn't horrible, but this crab has outgrown it. And to complete the journey, to move on, we've got to move up. Moving up like George and Wheezy Jefferson, to a bigger, better thing, or to what's better for us now. I don't mean to say bigger and better like we consistently have to be striving for more, but we do evolve, whether we're evolving emotionally, whether we're evolving, by setting up more structure or more boundaries for ourselves, whether we're evolving just by taking some new journeys. We're constantly evolving. And the Death card really is about leaving behind what is no longer serving us to transition into what will serve us on this current stage, what will be better for us. And to be fair, like I said, it's not always bigger and better. Maybe you're downsizing, and maybe that's going to serve you better, having less stuff, less space, less to deal with. So it doesn't have to be bigger and better like we're constantly chasing something more. It means just that we are leaving behind what doesn't serve us to move into what does. And that's on Friday. For Saturday, we have Six of Wands, which is a card that just I like. I like Six of Wands when it comes up. Try not to play favorites, but this would be one of my BFF Inner Circle cards that I love. I love that we have a lady again here. She is living a free life here on this eagle. She is just vibing out in the greatness and majesty of this moment. And that really is Six of Wands. Six of Wands is about celebrating yourself, celebrating your achievements, enjoying the victories of your life, the accomplishments of your life. So reflect back on this week. How did this all come together for you in a way that you feel like celebrating? Also being willing to be seen in this celebration. Let people celebrate you. Let yourself be seen. Be confident to be seen in this. Be confident to be seen in who you are. Be confident to be seen with the work you've done. If you have made a big move here, tell people about it. Hey, you know what? I decided to move on from the job, and I got a great job offer, so I'm leaving my other job. Whatever it is, let people know. Be celebrated. Be free. The more openly we can celebrate ourselves, it really does help to spread that love, that positive energy, that joy. And you can do it without bragging. You really can. You really can say, hey, you know what? I had a really tough week at work, but I made it through, and my boss noticed, and now I'm going to be put on that project that I really want to be on. That's not bragging. That's just saying about something really amazing that happened to you. So don't be afraid to celebrate yourself. Don't be afraid to celebrate yourself. Also celebrate others. Celebrate others, love yourself, love others. But don't be afraid to stand and be seen and let others celebrate you. It's going to feel really freeing. It's going to feel like you are on a majestic eagle ride. I promise. And then on Sunday, we've got Five of Thunder, which would be Five of Swords in a traditional tarot deck. And this does imply that maybe these sort of struggle feelings are back a little bit. Maybe we're still kind of have this in the forefront, that Three of Swords or Three of Thunder energy. And there is a struggle. There is, we're trying, but we know we're likely not going to win this. Or maybe we have, quote unquote, won whatever it is, or we've come out on top, but someone else is still struggling. And Five of Swords sort of asks you to evaluate what the cost is in the struggle, whether it's yours or someone else's. Evaluate how it all came to be. Evaluate what are the lessons here? What have we learned? Was the struggle worth it? Did it, you were struggling, but did it damage a relationship? Did it damage a friendship? Did it make you the odd person out at work? Whatever it is, you might have quote unquote won, but was it worth it? And so it can ask us to look into our ideas of why we fight, our notions of always wanting to be right, and things along that. And just know with every, much like with death, something has to end for something to begin again. With Five of Thunder, if there's a disagreement, a battle, a fight, someone's going to lose. So, someone has to lose. And if it's not you, someone does have to lose in this. And there can be some feelings about that. So these are all things to think about with this card on Sunday. And maybe this is something we need to think about in order to fully release this Three of Swords. And when we do this work, we're gonna get the blessings of these cards. More, like when we are able to evaluate this and move on. Maybe this is something that needs to be put to rest in order to transition to the next step. Or maybe this is something that needs to happen. Maybe this is something that you need to say, an argument, not necessarily an argument, but like a struggle that you have to have in order to move on. But the result is going to be when you process, when you feel it, when you deal with it, you can heal it and you will be stronger. You will come out better. You'll be freer. You'll be on this eagle ride. And you will come out stronger and better for it. So that is our reading for this week, April 20th, 2026. Thank you all for being here. Again, if you liked this, please like, subscribe, share as you will. My website, my profile, I do personal readings for people. It's delivered in a video format just like this. So you can watch it on your own whenever you'd like. There's no need to show up live. There's no need to schedule an appointment. And I love doing those for people. So feel free to reach out if you would like one of those. And I will see you all next week. Have a great week.